it is a long battle of legal change, of political change, of social change, of getting into the hearts and minds of people, and letting them recognize that those of us who advocate for the end of race and gender preferences, we truly believe in equality.
So Jennifer Gratz has turned to a second front in the battle over affirmative action, a push for ballot initiatives that take the issue to voters.
The language is, the state shall not discriminate against or grant preferential treatment to any group or individual on the basis of race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in 3 areas: in the operation of public employment, public contracting, and public education.
Almost everywhere a vote has been held, the measure has passed, often by a significant margin.
California was 10 points. Washington State was 19 points. Michigan was 16 points. Arizona was 20 points. Nebraska 16 points. Oklahoma 20 points. All wins on our side. To have an issue that time and time again is 10, 15, 20-point wins tells me where the people are at.
In states with those amendments, affirmative action is over for public universities. By summer, we should know if the Fisher decision ends it nationwide. Andrew Kornblatt says he is waiting for the ruling and making plans.
I felt relieved after Fisher won. In the back of my mind, I thought, this isn't going to completely go away. And everybody was right about that. But for now and since then, no, we've been aggressive and happy to do what we're doing, and we're going to keep doing it till somebody tells me we can't do it.
For Edward Bloom, that's the best answer of all, one that matches his mission and echoes a case from the past.
I think there is an unbroken link between Sweatt versus Painter and Fisher versus University of Texas. And that link is Heman Sweatt applied to the University of Texas and wanted to be admitted without his race being a factor in that decision. Abby Fisher applied to the University of Texas and wanted that decision to be made without her race being a factor. I think it's one long historical chain that has hopefully about to be settled by the U.S. Supreme Court.
For officials at the University of Texas, history has a different lesson to teach.
I think it is powerful to say that all people are treated equally regardless of race. I think that's a very powerful part of what our country is all about. And I think that is an ideal that we absolutely have to aspire to. Yet there are still barriers that cause us not to be able to fully realize that. And until we eliminate those barriers, we still have to pay attention to race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status.
Gerald Torres points to another lesson, one learned by the University of Texas when the use of race in admissions was not allowed.
We need to mine the learning if race is not permitted, that the 10% plan permitted us to accumulate, and ask the question of how we can structure an admissions process that really will approximate what we could do if we were truly allowed to use the knowledge that we do have, which means the knowledge of the applicant in all of his or her fullness, which includes race, includes ethnicity, includes class, includes gender, includes geography, includes, immigrant status.
It is an experience that could light the way for schools everywhere if they wish to seek diversity, but can't consider race.
If we don't willfully blind ourselves to things that can actually give us information, give us knowledge, if we don't do that, we can produce a better university class. If we're required to poke one of our eyes out by the Supreme Court, what are we going to be allowed to see with a remaining eye? And where are we going to look?
I believe that so much of this, of sort of the radioactivity of this, comes in the notion of access.